Alright, the video today is going to show how to dump the black water tank on our Airstream 2005. My wife wanted a video so she would be able to do it in the event I had to go somewhere and was going to be gone for a few days and she had to do it. So this is just for her, but I'll post it on YouTube because it may be interesting to some other people, and also that'll make it easier for her to find it when she can't remember where she put the video file. First thing we're going to do is going to come over here. This is a little auxiliary water pump. Our water here comes from a spring and into a reservoir, so it's gravity feed down here, and it's only 2 or 3 gallons a minute, maybe a little bit more, but it's not enough to run this clean out in the tank. So what we got to do is, I have this going other places. This one here is going to the water faucet where we have a hose or utility work. I close that just because when the pump is on, it pressurizes the hose and it all backs up and causes issues, so I just turn that one off. This is a hose we're going to be using. It actually runs over to our auxiliary water heater for our outdoor shower, so I'm going to close that one too because we have to take it loose. I'm walking over here to the splitter for hot and cold water. And I'm just going to close these valves. And I'll take the hose loose. It'll leak a little bit, but it don't matter. Okay, we got that. Now we're going to take this. And we're going to go back over here to where we can hook it up to the clean out on the water tank. All the Airstreams, I'll put this down. At least on the model years we have, has an internal sprayer in the black water tank to spray water and kind of flush the tank out. So what I do, now I've got a little auxiliary input. This normally is designed to go straight into the tank. And since that's a little inconvenient, hard to reach in there and unscrew that thing, I put an elbow on it so I can just unscrew it and screw the thing in right here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be putting my hose here onto that. So I'll set this back over here. And we'll proceed to screw this in. Alright, that's pretty tight. And this is what it looks like after it's hooked up. Now, you don't need to worry about black water getting back into the potable water system because there's a one-way valve on that. It come back out and get into the system, so you'll not have to worry about that. And I had that all apart a few years ago when there were some rust issues with the box, and verified everything was working correctly. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back over here, open the valve, go into that. Now gravity feeds, so you'll hear the water running down. I'm going to go around and plug the hose in. I'll plug the pump in so I can really pump it. Alright, so now that's plugged in. You should be able to hear water running in here just under gravity, unless the level in the tank is above the sprayer. I can hear it a little bit. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Anyway, at this point, I'm going to go over and turn on the pump, and then you'll hear it running. Okay, so now the pump is running, and the tank is almost full, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the handle on it and dump it. Normally what I do is I go about 2 weeks between having to dump. It's just the two of us. So right now, I have a hose going down into the sewer lines hookup. The gray water tank valve is closed, so we hang out and reserve some water for dumping and cleaning out the hose here after dumping the black water. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and just pull the valve and let it run into the hose here. I always put my hand on it just to make sure that thing don't come off, because that would be bad. Anyway, you hear it running down there now. And once the tank gets mostly empty, the sprayer inside will be uncovered, and then you'll be able to hear it. And you probably can hear it now. Hold this up. Nothing really particular. But anyway, so I'll let that drain, and once it's well drained, I'll close the valve, and then I let the pump run and fill the tank back up, and then I dump it again to make sure it's flushed out good and helps clean the tank. I actually do it twice, but I'm just gonna, when I close the valve here, I'll stop the video and I'll pick it back up when I come to dump it again. After the second flushing, and I'll show how to clean out or dump the gray water, and that's what cleans the hose out of it. Well, I'm gonna close this. Make sure it's closed. Okay, and at this point, the pump is going to run. It takes about 12 minutes running the pump. Just hold it straight, keep your feet over the utility pump. And the potable water doesn't run through this. This is just the outside utility, water hose for water and washing stuff, and then an outlet stuff. So I'm not worried about it. It's not for potable water because I'm not drinking it. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and pick it up again, and I'll go ahead and come out to dump it again. Alright, I wanted to get an idea of what you hear when the sprayer is running in the black tank, and you can hear it spraying. It sounds like a water hose spraying or something like that. And it's basically clean out, just spray nozzle. Anyway, that's just so you can hear what that sounds like. That's all. Alright, this is what it sounds like after the water level gets above the spray nozzle. It gets a lot quiet. You can still hear it, but it's much subdued. So that's how I can tell the tank's almost full. I'll visually verify that by, you can look in the commode. It goes straight down into the tank and see, but that's basically the way you tell. Alright, I've cleaned the tank, and finished filling the tank with the clean out sprayer, so it's almost full. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the handle again, and we'll let it dump. I do this 2 times. You don't really need to do it once. I've run into people that are new to RVing at campgrounds or even a friend, and they were under the impression you pull both the handles at one time. Well, no. You really want to do the black first, save your potable or gray water. Do your gray water and save it and use it to wash the hose out. What I normally do here is I dump the gray water every couple of days. That keeps us from having a streak of stuff running out with the valve open all the time, and it helps keep things a little cleaner. So I pulled the valve here on the black. It's draining right now. The clean out sprayer is still spraying, So what I'm going to do is walk over and I'm going to shut off the pump. I'm going to put this over here. I'll walk over to a switch. Okay. So the pump is off. I'm going to close the valve because, you know, gravity is still making water go into the tank. And I'll walk back over here and disconnect the hose. Put this over here. Straighten out the thing here a little bit. Not too bad. And unscrew this. Still have the valve open on the black water so it can drain. You want to get as much out of it as you can. Put my little cap back on here so mud dollars and other stuff won't go in there and plug it up. I've had that happen before I started doing this. And at this point I'm done in the water compartment. You know, Airstreams, they got such a crappy fastener arrangement. It's just, I can't believe how crappy it is. Where do you know it is? I guess if I spent a little more money, we could have got something good, but you know, it is what it is. Overall, we're pretty happy with the Airstream. All right, so I'll just put this over here out of the way and continue with what I'm doing here. Alright, so we're done dumping the black. I don't hear any more running out of the tank, so we're going to go and close the valve. And I'll put my little security things on here so I don't forget and pull the wrong one when I come around to dump the gray water. Now I go over here now and pull the gray water tank. That will dump the gray water and then we'll go through and theoretically it's going to wash the hose out. So you don't have so much of that nasty stuff in there. I mean, you know, it is what it is. And you can hear it running down. So that's about it. And then we'll go inside. Now I'll show you how to put the chemical in the tank. So I'm going to just leave that open so it can dump. And we'll head inside. Alright, with everything cleaned and dumped, you can turn the pump off. We got a second switch back here in Airstream for the pump, so I can turn it off. That way I can look in the commode and see if the bottom of the tank is clean. So I'll look down in here. And that's the bottom of the tank. There's nothing in there. It's pretty good. So I'm okay with that. So anyway, I always check this just to make sure. And then at this point, we're going to go ahead and put the chemicals in. Show you how that works. And point this down here so I can kind of see what's going on. And hopefully my thing won't tumble over into the toilet because that will kind of suck. A little bit too much. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so I flip the water back on. And then turn down a little more, maybe a little more back. Yeah, that's probably good enough. No, don't think it'll tumble over. I'll put that right there just in case it does. It won't go all the way down the commode. Alright, so now I get out my chemicals. I should have probably done this before I started. But, you know, so it's always 2020. This is what we use. It's Camper Fresh by Thetford, same people that made the pot. And it works okay. We've tried a bunch of different ones. There are all kinds. And this one has worked the best for us. You know, different systems may be different. You know, you may have different requirements or needs, or things may work better. But this has worked pretty well for us. So I open that thing up. And these used to have a pull-off lid that you could pull off with the thing, but not no more. And last time I tried, I was unsuccessful. So now I just use my pocket knife and cut around the edge so I can get in there. Not real super critical. And I don't usually use my knife for potable reasons. So I'm okay with that. And then flip the little valve flapper thing back. Assuming I can get it in and get it out. Damn thing. Oh well. A little bit more. Then we'll call that pretty good. Wash my pocket knife off. Okay, and now what we're going to do is put the chemical in there. I usually use the water clean out sprayer. And I run a little bit extra water in there, and that way I can fill this bag up to rinse it out good. So when you push the pedal partially down, it runs the water, dump the chemical, like so. And then I do a little bit of this, fill it back up. Hopefully you can see that. Shake it a little bit. I want to run a couple of gallons of water in here to make sure there's a little bit in the bottom of the tank, because you don't want your solids falling in there, not being able to be dissolved or you know, keep wet, because then we'll call that pretty good. Because I had a friend one time, actually my next door neighbor, he had a big motor coach, and I see him in there one day with a garden hose. And I walk over and I said, "Bob, what are you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm cleaning out the black tank." I said, "What do you mean you clean out the black tank?" And he said, "Well, I didn't have enough water in there when I changed it, and I didn't realize it. And the solids turned into a little mountain right below the commode hole," which you can imagine what kind of mountain it was. And I decided at that point, I think we had just got our trailer this time, and I decided I didn't want to ever see that happen. So I was getting in here with the hose to hose out a mountain of unpleasant stuff. Nobody wants that, especially the person having to do it, which would be me. So anyway, this is the end of my little educational video. Hopefully it will help. Hopefully Blanche will have no problems getting everything done. And that's it. Signing off.